One last thing I wanted to touch on, which beyond what Apple announced, was actually all of the stream of videos that came out from YouTubers covering the event afterwards, and it led me to think about life as a YouTuber. Well, I don't think that's what we are. I think we're podcasters by comparison. And the reason why I say that is that YouTubers have to really be punching out content all the time to maintain their view count and the interest from the audience to, for it to keep going, to the point where it can be almost debilitating, because you're almost thinking about it 24/7, and it becomes a lifestyle to the point that you can't miss posting a video on a schedule, whether it's 2 or 3 times a week or whatever. And it made me think about that when I saw all of these videos come out, all very well produced, very well done. I don't want to be too harsh here, but a lot of them were the same. Like basically with a different host presenting the same information with the same impressions. But still, it's good that that kind of content is so well produced and so well put together, and they've got their sort of process down. But for me, I just don't think I could do it, because it just seems like you can't step away from it at any point, otherwise, because as soon as you do, you're off the train and you're done, kind of thing.
Well, look, I think I love this video because, there's a lot of people out there who can't get off the treadmill, and they're just consumers of this sort of content, that pops up in their feed, and they're forever scrolling through their feeds and watching content like this. Like you, I love to see well-produced content. Of course, there's always a format. You can't produce good content without a format and just, effectively doing it over and over again. But the secret is making it looking new and fresh and different every time. But as you point out, the flip side is you get on this treadmill, and on one side of the treadmill you've got the consumers who just endlessly go through hundreds of these sorts of videos, in a week. And on the other side, you've got the people who have to churn them out, and you can't miss a beat. You've got to be absolutely spot on in your production. You've got to be spot on in, your messaging within that production, within, the actual content itself. And then you have to be spot on in terms of distributing and supporting the distribution of that content. And, unfortunately, what our friend in the video really points out is that he got burnt out doing it. I was surprised he didn't just come out and say it, but he might not realise it. He's just talking about the heavy toll it took on him. I mean, anywhere else, if you were in a workplace anywhere else, that would be burnout. And you can see why. Great video, and well done. I mean, it's hard, but you can see how much effort goes into it. And you can also see why, in a more traditional content studio, you'd have 4 or 5 people working on each episode instead of one or one and a half.